Hi. Alright, so we're going to open the video. This is the N10 Hover Monocoque shock. And we're going to open the video by showing how sensitive it is, fully aired up for my riding, without even on the bike. I can move the shock by hand. How excellent is that? Pretty sweet. So just a quick little crash course. Got our compression, we got our rebound, we got our cool hardware with reducers / O-rings, and lockout. So it has like a road lockout, and then like a trail, and then like an adjustable section, which isn't too noticeable, and then open. So 2 O-rings, which is my signature move, and I have a shock that already has that. So we're gonna do a full teardown. I like to keep my tools separate than my working area. This is where parts go, this is where tools go, don't mix them up. Check out our N10 branded shock pump. Pretty snazzy, goes up to 600 bar. Just kidding, 600 PSI. So I have one ride on it, and I put it at 350 PSI. Yeah, 350 on the money. Look at that, nice. And it has one volume spacer. All of it. Or else it'll blow up in your face. And then maybe even take it a step further and take the valve core out, if I can get it by hand. Oh, look at that. Sweet. Okay. So now we have a free-flowing shock. Very cool, very cool. Go ahead and pop this reducer cap out of the way. Nice. All right, step 1. This isn't gonna be a how-to video, I just wanna show the inside, but we're gonna film the whole thing. This is the smallest screw ever. That is a T5, and beneath it you have something you would similarly see on Fox suspension, just the ball bearings right there, and then the springs. You can fish those out. There we go. And then obviously the indents on here, and then the little spring ball bearing cavities beneath there, and then where the adjusters kind of key in. So we'll set that off to the side and not lose it. Keep all that in one pile. Microscopic springs. Boom. And pretty nifty, pretty nifty. Next up, gotta get a T10. And we're gonna take out this little bleed cap. Oil's probably gonna come out, so I don't wanna be too messy here. Yeah, oil's coming out. Boom. Nice, very, very old cassette tool. Very old. I think this is from like 2002. But, hey man, stuff was made well then. I punched the pin out in the center. That way it doesn't have, it used to have the pin for like old skewer quick release style cassettes. So now I just use it as a flush mounted cassette tool. One of my favorite tools in the world. I'm just gonna keep some pressure on that, crack it loose. Little bites, little bites. And nothing's gonna explode because the bleed screw is already out. So the original hover shock, I don't think it had a bleed screw on the top cap. I think it was just like an open key design. This is 2.5 weight Motorex, which I already have. Smells amazing. So obviously brand new oil. We're gonna save that. Now we're making progress. Now you can see the IFP in there. I should probably give it a little push. Yep. So that's what that's the driving force that that moves when the shock compresses. So basically the air chamber, the main piston drives it, right? And then the IFP goes down, right? So the shaft is going this way and the IFP is going down the same way I just poked it. And then the oil is captured in between. So it'd basically be like if you had your standard air shock. Obviously, all the inner workings of the oil system are in here, the air can's over here, and then the reservoir, which has its own charge. It would be as if the reservoir was the air spring. So the oil's captured in between them. So it means every bit of pressure that you have in your air chamber is pushing on the oil. So basically, it will never aerate because it has so much back pressure either way. So pretty cool, pretty cool. The other N10 shock had a transfer port on it, or sorry, like a transfer valve. This one doesn't have it, so I think what you have to do is put the shock pump on there to pop the IFP out. So we'll just do that. There we go. Sweet. It's now open cavity, as you can see. And then next up, I'm just gonna use Nipex again instead of a strap wrench because there's key flats on the air can, as you can see right in here, which it just makes this thing so incredibly easy to work on. There we go. Boom. So there's the main air can, as you can tell. And then this is pretty much just like a frictionless. And then beneath here, you can see that there's wrench flats here and here. So we can use those to further disassemble it. I believe it's still the same size, but yep. Now the reason I'm taking this apart again is it was making a weird noise when I got it, just to be transparent, some weird clicking noise. And I'm not really sure what it was, so I took it apart and found there was a little kind of loose tolerance area. So I cut down an old Fox shim that I had in order to take that play out. But while I was putting it back together, I based the IFP depth off the previous shock and found out that it's actually different for the newer one. So it's 35 millimeter depth instead of 33. And a buddy over at a 10 said that's a really big deal, that it's perfect. So I just figured, hey, taking it apart again, might as well show the inner workings. So this is a machining piece of beauty here. I mean, pretty incredible, but just so simple, right? Air can, and then you can see down in there, there's our lockout, and even the little detent channels where the clicks are. So that's cool. I don't need to take that apart for any reason. So, and it even has a hole drilled right there, so you can kind of see that oil is allowed to flow through in the not fully locked out position. So anyway, the main air piston slash oil piston, by no means do I know the exact facts. So you can just thread it off with the Nipex pliers, and here's your top out O-rings. So that way you don't have like a top out clunk. Set those off to the side. And then the main bushing, so you can see inside here there's nice like metal coated bushing in there. And then a seal on this side, pretty cool. And then just all like the air can details, transfer ports, wrench flats. I mean, just this piece alone, it's pretty cool engineering. And then there's our main dust wiper. You can get a load of the friction, which is basically nothing. So another piece, and that's where your bottom out flats hit on the bottom out bumper. So when you do bottom out, that's where it comes in contact. So that's right, just machined all one piece into the body, got a little O-ring there. And then our main shaft, we don't need to take this apart, but it's just basically, oops, I guess we are taking it apart. It's just these clips that go together and sit on the bottom here, and then the bottom out O-ring just touches it, and then you have your travel O-rings. And then on the side here, you got your transfer point for the positive and negative chamber. Unlike the old The previous version of the hover shock had a manual transfer port. This one has just like a bleed orifice. So anyway, there's the inner workings of the shock. Beautiful. Seals, backup ring, bushings. Everything's all anodized, threaded incredibly. No burrs, no nothing. Pretty radical. So anyway, just wanted to show the insides, everything apart. That's it. That's all you really need to take it apart. Very, very easy to work on shock. It's so simple it almost doesn't make sense. Go back together very quickly and your bleeds will come out first try as well. So there you have it.